of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix.
What? Where am I?
Is it there?
What
You're
the-
right there.
What? Where?
The speaker is present. I promise.
What? Okay. Hi. There I am. Where? I can't see. There. Diagonally. Uh, Sorry, that got stuck in my head. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, episode number 241.
I believe that's correct. That's what I wrote down anyway.
Hell yeah. Where we talk
knows
every
anymore?
week about the week's DC Comics releases and other things. Sometimes. Well, I say sometimes, but at this point it's been every week because between the three of us, have been reading quite a lot of other stuff because there's been a lot of good shit coming out. So my name is Rob. Joining me as always is Josh.
Howdy, howdy.
Brandon is off this week, having a little adventure in the city that he used to live in. So, hello, Brandon. Hope you enjoy the trip, and hope to see you back in a couple weeks. But for now, we're going to cover some books that I know he really likes, so it's a shame he's not here for.
Right? Secret
Yeah.
6 number 2, Poison Ivy number 32, Justice League The Atom Project number 4, Birds of Prey number 20, and JSA number 6.
Yeah, as well, in addition to, I get, kind of. Honorable mentions also include Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma number 1, Two-Face number 5, and Batgirl number 6.
Highly, highly recommend all of them. And if anyone out there is a Resurrection Man fan, I am telling you, and I promise you, Resurrection Man Quantum Karma is amazing.
That's under the Vertigo banner too, isn't it?
Yes.
Which is like
This
the
feels
first number
It-
one of the new Vertigo.
Yeah, Brandon hit it on the head earlier when we were talking in chat, and it's very much like a right before Vertigo got started kind of feel to it, and it's oh god, it's so good,
Yeah.
so good, and
I
brought
gotta
to you
check
by
it
the
out.
team that did Blue and Green, which is
Yeah. Oh, is it written
so
by
cool.
Rom? Well, yeah, it is written by Romvi as well, isn't it?
Yep, same
Right
artist,
on. Right on.
same artist too.
All right, so that's gonna be hell of a book. I gotta read it. I gotta check it out still. I got through our review books because, quite honestly, I've been into Rurouni Kenshin again. I started watching the anime on Netflix.
That's so interesting because Holly recently got back into Rurouni Kenshin without
Oh man, without you, how dare
Yeah. She's a jerk. I'm telling you.
she? I know how much you
Tell
like
you.
Rurouni Kenshin.
She sneaks right for somebody who can't stand most anime. Rurouni Kenshin is like that's the bomb, dude. And
Yeah.
she watches it without me, and I can't catch her doing it because she'll like watch an episode in between 17 episodes of Apothecary Diaries. And she'll just slip over and watch one without me. It's like, God damn it! How are you 4 episodes ahead of me?
Yeah, that's I haven't dove into Kenshin since I want to say high school, so this is like a nice revisitation of the story for me, and I'm just enjoying the hell out of it.
I'm thinking about rewatching the live action movies.
I still haven't watched the live action ones, you know, like I
None of
gotta.
them?
No, I know. Like I said, this is the first Kenshin I've been watching since fucking high school when I read the manga.
Whoa.
Yeah, I've been meaning
Um,
to get into it. I just like never took the time.
That should be our next watch party.
Hell yeah,
Watch
live action
Rurouni
Kenshin.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
down. I would love to see a live action Sanosuke. He was my favorite character in the manga.
All I can say is definitely watch the movie.
Oh hell yeah.
You, regardless of anything you hope for, or anything that you know, fan list to see, you will be so happy with what they've done.
Perfect. I like to hear that.
You read the manga or just the anime?
I read the manga, so I never finished it because I graduated high school. So I never got
Yeah.
to. I got to like volume 21 or 22.
Uh-huh.
I was, from what I remember, I think it was close to the end. I think my library didn't have all the volumes anyway, and then I graduated, so by the time they did get them, I couldn't read them. And then I just kind of forgot about it and never went back. But it was in the middle of a really fun, interesting arc, and I regret not going back to it. So,
We're we're gonna have to pull together. Brandon will watch that. I know he will. Isaiah might watch that. Kirk might watch that. Holly will watch that. I bet you we can get a whole bunch of people together to check that sucker out.
yeah,
I think all of us are Rurouni Kenshin fans.
hell yeah. Who
That
isn't a
would be
Kenshin fan,
awesome.
really? Like, it's. I've been telling people about it. People I know that are anime fans are like, "What's that?" I'm like, "How do you not
How
know
do you
Rurouni
not
Kenshin?"
know?
Y'all recommend
Like I
anime to me
understand.
all the live long day, and you don't know one of the most popular samurai anime of all time?
That's what
What
I'm saying.
the
Like
fuck?
I understand people not knowing Vampire Hunter D more than I understand them not knowing Rurouni Kenshin. That's just
Right?
absolutely insane.
It's kind of nuts.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Well,
Holly just snuck in here and I think stole shoes. I'm not sure. Anyway, so where are we at now, sir?
well,
Oh, in addition, the other two are great too. It's too bad Two Faces wrapped up. We're wrapping up.
yeah, it's
Batgirl
not
number
done yet.
6 is awesome. Uh, they're doing a fantastic job with Cassandra King.
Oh. Oh.
What?
So,
Oh no,
CinemaCon happened over the weekend
you're making me nervous.
or this week. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't know. It's just something that popped up onto my screen. I didn't think it was going to happen so soon, but apparently at CinemaCon, following Warner Brothers' presentation, reports were released online detailing what footage from dynamic duos was shown.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And apparently the clip came as part of a wider sizzle reel for Warner Brothers Animation. And according to At the Movie Podcast, the footage shows a Batmobile crashing through a pillar and one of the Robins, believed to be Dick Grayson, riding on the subway. So apparently that's supposed to be uh, the animated series dynamic duo, which is supposed to focus on Dick Grayson and Jason Todd.
Um, what's up, Russell? How's it going?
Is he chatting? Open. Oh yeah, let me
Yes.
open the chat.
Chat's going a little
Yo,
slow. I may have just said yo twice.
you
Um,
sent it as me. How the hell did that happen?
I don't know. It says Josh.
Oh, for me it says Rob. What the fuck?
That's so fucking weird. Well, anyway,
All right. I
it's
wonder
never
how
boring in the Geek
Russell's
Matrix. That's
seeing
for
it.
sure.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. All right, so yeah, we now know a bit more. I was under the impression that that dynamic duo was going to be a story about Dick Grayson and Jason Todd as like brothers outside of Batman, but like they never met Batman kind of deal. It was like them just like as civilians wanting to fight crime, but apparently okay, they're still Robins.
Yeah,
Um,
but they're the dynamic duo,
they're the
and
dynamic duo, so it's going to be like
their backstories are different too, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. I mean, I haven't heard anything about that. I can neither confirm nor deny those allegations, but so I guess I'm just spitballing an assumption here that it's going to focus on Dick and Jason being brothers, which I think is kind of cool.
We'll have to see, man. I don't know. I haven't seen that clip, and I definitely will be looking for it later. Um,
I will
but
say good luck
I'm
because I don't know that anybody's actually posted it.
damn. Well,
Yeah, that what
I
I'm
will.
seeing here is just like a description.
Weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, so apparently it's a film, not like a short series or anything.
Right.
It's
No. Yeah. It's a
it's
movie.
currently slated to release June 30th, 2028.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But apparently the animation looks gorgeous. So that is something to look forward to, I guess.
Well, fingers crossed. I know I'll be looking out for it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Sticking it out for the gun universe alone.
Uh, yeah.
Don't let me down on Superman, or it's gonna be a short ride, Jimmy.
All right. Well, that kind of just popped up onto my screen when I was looking for something. Um, so yeah, that's a bit of news.
That is a bit of news.
That's about all the
Interesting
news
news
I
as
have,
well.
to be honest, as well.
I don't have any news either, really. Um, been spending most of my time, my free time, messing around with a program called Windsurf. It's kind of neat because it's designed for coders, which I lost the ability to do about 6 years ago. And the cool part about it is it's got a built-in access to several different forms of AI engines that will help you code. So I'm getting to mess around and build programs and write scripts and stuff that my brain wouldn't let me do otherwise. So other than that, no major news, just that personal stuff.
All right, on.
But I guess it's time for us to get into the books, huh?
I guess it is. Just give me a
Well,
second here.
I will definitely give you a second, Rob.
Thank you.
You're, are you done yet?
No. Yes. No.
Okay. No.
No.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
Shit. What do you need the
Uh,
credits?
no, it's like the friggin' screen fucked up. Hang
Oh
on.
no. Hate it when that happens.
Hurry up.
Up, up, up.
My screen broke. Okay,
Why?
here we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm back. We're starting with The Secret Six, number two. And I want to say of six, because I think that'd be cool, but we'll have to see. Um,
We'll have to see.
we'll have to see. I wouldn't mind if it continued a little longer, but again, we'll have to see. This one's written by Nicole Maines with art from Steven Segovia, colors from Rain Burrito, and letters by Steve Wands. With the cover from Steven Segovia and Rain Burrito. We open up on a little dream sequence with Amanda Waller. Well, we don't know it's Amanda Waller first, but you quickly find out it is Amanda Waller waking up on a, I want to say, a morgue table, um, with a doctor putting a helmet on her head, and then she says, "I remember everything." And with the text bubbles in blue, someone saying, "Oh God, no!" And you find out it's Dreamer having a dream, while she's actually at the House of Secrets with John Kent, Jay Nakamura, Black Alice, Deadshot, and Catman. Catman presumably dead. Um, Floyd Lawton was also presumably dead, but surprise, he's alive. Everybody starts to question that, but then quickly they all spiral into various other things, as Black Alice mentions something about Jay's mom also being dead, and John heat visioning Deadshot because he won't answer questions, and then everybody starts fighting. Deadshot gets John with a synthetic kryptonite bullet, chokes him up a little bit. Jay and Black Alice keep fighting back and forth, and this is when Catman starts to wake up. He meets Deadshot outside and stabs him in the back of the head with a very large knife, which drops Deadshot. Um, and Catman is holding Dreamer, who is still asleep. Uh, he's trying to figure out what the is going on because he was supposedly dead. But this is when Deadshot gets up, pulls the knife out of the back of his head, and they have words back and forth. Spoiler alert: neither of those are explained. It's just assumed and accepted that both of them can just die and come back to life at will. Right?
Yep.
Though I think Catman had something about 9 lives, didn't he? Or was that just Wildcat? That's like his
That's just
power.
Wildcat.
Oh, that's just Wildcat. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't.
yeah,
I just
so,
think Catman just keeps coming back. I don't.
yeah.
I don't remember anything about nine lives with him.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was just Wildcat or not. Right, so John takes that opportunity to super speed Dreamer away from Catman. Deadshot and Catman go at each other a little bit. And then we have another little dream sequence with some weird shit going on. But then we get back to Jay and John having words back and forth again about Dreamer, who then wakes up and requests to talk to Jay alone. So John leaves them alone. He heads back to a dinner table in the House of Mystery, where the other three are seated and they all have words with each other. We're Deadshot saying that he is here kind of because he needs to find Amanda Waller, which is what everybody else is doing too, and he is maybe the only one that knows where to find her because he knows, or at least assumes, that she was taken by a group called Checkmate, who has come back to life after the events of Leviathan Rising?
Event Leviathan.
Event Leviathan, thank you.
Yep.
Um,
No problem.
yeah, I forgot the name of
That's
that book.
unfortunately seared into my brain.
See, that's just one I didn't finish reading.
Oh well, I was doing the podcast at that
Yeah,
time,
you
so
kind of had
yep,
to.
yep.
um, so they go back and forth about that, and that is when somebody, I believe it was Black Alice, reveals that Amanda Waller's, excuse me, memory has been erased, so she doesn't remember anything, despite this fact that Floyd Lawton, or Amanda Waller, has intel that Floyd Lawton needs. So he gets really annoyed about this fact and says we need her to remember before Checkmate kills her, because if she can't remember shit, they will kill her. Meanwhile, Dreamer and Jay are talking back and forth. Dreamer is explaining her side of things while Jay is still pissed at her and blames her for his mother's death. But then Dreamer does reveal that I had the opportunity to kill Amanda Waller. I didn't because that's your job. You need to kill Amanda Waller because you need that revenge. Plus, I took away her memories, and we need to kill her before she regains them. So, two teams on one team with two different objectives, but they're the same objective in the same kind of style. It's
Two different
complicated, but
attitudes.
it's interesting. So, we'll see. um, I'm liking the story still, though. I think it's a really cool follow up to Absolute Power, which had ups and downs, but if this was part of the story, I'd call this an up. Um, I did get tired of Amanda Waller, and Amanda Waller's not necessarily a big part of the story. She's more of like I want to say I can't remember the literary term for it, like the
Plot
Maltese
device.
Falcon. Um, no, it was like, I guess, plot device, but there's a literary term for there's a thing, an object or a person, like a something that is the bulk of the story that drives the story forward, like an object that people are trying to acquire.
The Holy Grail.
It's not an actual name of an object, but there's a literary term to it, and I can't remember what the hell it is. And there's probably listeners right now screaming down their headphones saying it's this, and like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. But the point is, that's she's kind of like that thing. Um, and I don't think that's like MacGuffin. Mac, is that MacGuffin? We'll call it MacGuffin. Fuck it, MacGuffin. Um, she's the MacGuffin that they had to acquire. and it's an interesting little sidestep, I guess, for Amanda Waller. She's not like she's in the story, and she's not the main focus, which I'm more than okay with. Uh, but no, this team of six that they have together is a very interesting team because realistically, they all hate each other for different reasons, and I really think that's a cool way to go about it. Once again, I'll say I love that Nicole Maines has gone over to writing comics. She's the best suitor to write for Dreamer, and I am all for it. And this book is going to get an 8.75 out of 10.
Well, to be fair,
To be
have we
fair,
ever seen Dreamer? What?
to be fair,
To be fair, have we ever seen Dreamer written by somebody else?
not this Dreamer. I mean, technically, Tom Taylor was involved too, but so was Nicole Maines during those stories.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was
she was a
part of
co-writer
this.
on those stories when in I can't even remember which Tom Taylor book it was that Dreamer showed up. Um, no,
Suicide Squad.
John Kent, son of Superman.
Or yes, that.
Yeah,
My bad.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
so
Like
nobody
this
else has.
version
But
of Dreamer, I don't believe anybody has. Obviously, Dreamer and Legion of Superheroes, other people have written, but
well, right.
yeah,
Um, and I don't even know what to say. This is crazy. I mean, first off, what a crazy roster. I dig John's suit. That looks awesome. I dig that Deadshot is pretty much the one that's holding everybody together, although barely. I also
somehow.
love the new direction of Dreamer's personality, and of course, Black Alice being a major player makes me so happy. Nicole Maines is using her right, and that's so refreshing. She kind of has been left by the wayside, and when she's been brought into it, like during that Batman and Robin Lazarus reign shit, she's made to look like a wimp, and that is not the case. I hope she continues to be a main character, though she does have a habit of turning down teams. And side note here, it would be cool if Tracy 13 showed up as a cameo at least at some point somewhere, but keep Black Alice as long as you can, please. Thank you. That is all.
Yeah,
Score 9 out of 10.
hell yeah. I'm just waiting for hopefully the next issue when they say, okay, we're all going to work together as a team, but we have to keep to the shadows. Nobody can know we're working together. And I just can't wait for the
Oops.
dialogue from Deadshot to say, what are we? Some kind of secret six?
Yeah, right. That'll eventually happen.
Please.
Please.
Just for the lulls.
It'll be Deadshot or Black Alice.
Well, I
Um,
mean, it would have to be Deadshot because I like that's his quote from the Suicide Squad movie.
oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that's what would make it funny.
yeah,
Different Deadshot though. This one's good.
yeah. Don't let Will Smith hear that. He might slap you.
Oh, that'll be all right. I'll keep his wife's name out of my mouth. I'm just kidding. She's crazy.
She is.
But all right. Before I go down that rabbit hole, maybe I should take us down the next one,
Yeah.
which is Poison Ivy.
Oh no. Itchy.
Itchy? Got
Yeah,
hit when
poison,
that
poison ivy
happens.
makes you itchy.
Written, but this one makes me itchy with excitement every time it comes out. Written by glorious Willow Wilson, art by Brian Lovell, colors of Reef Brianto, letters Hassan Atsmane El How, and another amazing Jessica Fong cover. This is the review. Issue starts off with Poison Ivy and Peter Undine fighting Ed Cooper. He's the sole remaining resident of the cursed town of Marshview, located in Slaughter Swamp, and he is Monster AF. A combination of the swamp and the town, so it's something only Undine can manipulate, but not for long. Coopster, as I'm going to call him, half Cooper, half monster, Coopster, breaks free and knocks them both aside. That's when Janet runs in to save the day for Ivy. Coopster snatches her up and crushes her in his hand. Janet from HR is gone, and that pisses Ivy off. Coopster is strong, but Ivy says he can't kill her because she's going to turn him inside out first. She sets forth carnivorous vines that wrap around and then force themselves down the throat of Coopster, and she plans on just leaving him there to slowly rot into the ground. Mm, vengeful,
Lovely.
anyone? She runs to Janet, and yay, she's not dead. Not yet, anyway.
Good.
But her back is definitely broken. Not good.
Yeah, not
Ivy
good.
runs into the swamp and yells out to Bog Venus to save her. Ivy makes sure. Uh, um, whoops, excuse me. She shows up. Bog Venus shows up. She saves Janet and desiccates Coopster because there's nothing for that, nothing more for his life form to do. As Bog Venus goes to heal Janet, Ivy makes sure first that it won't change her into a monster like a swamp thing or like Ivy. And Bog Venus replies, she is already changing just by being around Ivy is transforming her into something new.
Oh,
Janet apologizes, but she doesn't say why. There's no time. Bog Venus only helped because Ivy made a bargain with her. She said that she would tell her what Xylon, the last remaining member of the Parliament of the Grey, said in exchange. Bog Venus pulls Ivy into the green outside of time and space, so this is a new experience for Ivy. And Ivy dumps the news. She's to basically be the avatar of the Grey and the Green simultaneously, and she's speaking on Xylon's behalf, asking for peace. Bog Venus laughs maniacally and says that that will never happen until the Grey admits its crimes and deceit. And then she shoves Ivy back to the earth with Ivy begging to work it out. And that is the issue. This is awesome. The whole
great.
gray green double avatar middle of a war with so much other shit going on. This is just. I'm so happy we've got this as a title. I know every month that I'll have this to look forward to, and this issue is it's why it's awesome. The level on art is a really good sub for Takara. Even in this style, he plays really close attention to anatomy, and that's great. This whole issue is great. I love it, and I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. I can't wait to see what Ivy eventually turns into.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy fucking thing. Though I don't know. We'll see if Ivy's gonna really change at all. Right? You never know.
I mean, that's true, but she's already definitely changed with her relationship with the Lamia fungus and her now being the avatar of the gray. One, she's already an avatar of the green.
Yeah,
She's the very first of her kind, and that we've got no idea what that means for her or anybody else for that matter.
that's true. Uh, I will have to see.
Indeed.
Um, I don't know what else to say about this issue. It was a pretty straightforward issue. I think you covered it all. That's the thing. I'm trying to think of what else I could mention. It's like that's basically it.
Are you enjoying the story?
I am. No, I'm still loving the story. This is still like a top book for me every month. Poison Ivy is, and it's fantastic. 32 issues of consistent goodness
Fuck
is a win in my book. Like there's not really been a lull in this run at all,
yeah,
which
at
is a
all.
heck of a feat for a series that was supposed to be 6 issues, let alone any book. Right?
Way to go, Wilson. Way to
Hell
go.
yes. Uh, yeah. No, this is getting a 9 for me. It's a freaking awesome story. It really is. And I like that it's while technically there is story arcs, the way that Wilson writes it,
It's all one continuous
it's all
thing.
one thing. This is Poison Ivy, chapter 32. That's
Yep.
what this is.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I mean, and that's how she's always identified it
yeah,
by chapters.
exactly.
100%. And
It's perfect.
I couldn't be happier.
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah. I was surprised to see the whole thing of Janet is going to become some kind of, I'm assuming plant powered or green folk, like tied to the green in some way. That's what I'm really gonna excited to see what's gonna happen with that. Is what
Yeah,
Janet's going to become.
there's no freaking telling.
Yeah,
I just know I'm happy for it.
yeah. No, this has been a hell of a run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Uh,
Poison Ivy and Janet aren't the only ones that are going through transformations.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, we're now getting into Justice League the Atom Project number 4. If you hold, please. I'm never getting ready for this shit because I suck. All right, we are on chapter 4, titled The Catalyst. This is written by Ryan Perot with John Ridley. Art and cover from Mike Perkins, colors from Adriana Lucas, and letters from Wes Abbott. All right, so now we are opening back onto a big fight with Captain Atom and Major Force. As you can tell by the cover, that was the big pull of this issue, and what
Oh,
a fight
what
it
a pull!
is.
Oh man,
Yeah,
it's like
it is
Catman
a
and Major Force. Fuck yeah!
right. It is a slobber knocker back and forth between these two, both verbally and physically. All the while backdropped on the Atoms trying to figure out what they should do to stop it, and the Army helping. Well, I guess the Air Force led by General Ailing, helping Major Force with a satellite laser that blasts Captain Atom with some photon beam nonsense that's supposed to caused a lot of pain to him, and well, it does. And this is when the Atoms decide to step in, get in Major Force's face, um, and give Captain Atom just the edge he needs to grab Major Force by the arms and suck the power out of him, which is what he's able to do with all the metahumans that we finally know for sure. I believe we've all figured it out by this point, but we've seen it firsthand in some flashbacks in this issue that part of his new power set is he's able to siphon meta energy out of other metahumans, the ones that were given powers accidentally, and take it into himself and even put it into somebody else. Um, Sometimes with disastrous effects, depending on what the power is.
Yeah,
But he does get a hold of Major Force and suck the energy right out of him, basically making him human again. This gets Captain Atom in a lot of pain because it's a lot of energy to take. Ailing gets on the horn with Ray and says, "We're on the way here, and if you don't want to have a court martial, I suggest you stay where you are." Ray makes his choice and tells Adam to get up and get out of here as fast as you can. But this is when Ray gets blasted by some mysterious cloaked figure. It's the two people that were talking through text boxes off panel this entire run, and we find out that they're actually two people from Inferno. So they finally make their move. We still don't know who they are because they're cloaked in black cloaks and hoods. But one blasted
Inferno is
off
the
some
League of
yellow
Supervillains,
energy.
though. Yeah,
Sorry?
the Inferno we know is the League of Supervillains.
Yeah. Well,
And
that's
with
the
that yellow energy, I'm assuming that that must be Sinestro.
Sinestro. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
It did say at the beginning of this issue that it takes place before the events of Justice League Unlimited number 5, which revealed who Inferno is. Um, I'm curious if maybe there's different sections of Inferno, that maybe the one we saw in Justice League Unlimited is maybe just one part of Inferno and not the entirety of Inferno, based on what I'm
Whoa.
seeing
So like,
here.
there's like a fucking League of Supervillains Unlimited.
Could be. You never know,
Jesus.
right?
Oh my
Um,
God. Could you imagine?
yeah. Well, that was basically. I don't know. I'd have to go back. I want to go back and reread it. Villains United from Infinite Crisis, isn't it?
I mean, close.
Close.
I feel like you know how like the Justice League's got everybody on the Watchtower.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
like,
the Legion of
every
Doom headquarters has like every villain on the earth.
yeah.
there's a room for the rogues, there's a room for the Gotham villains, there's a room for Metropolis villains, like there's a
Yep.
room for people that have B-list heroes as their villains.
Yep.
Like there's a room for the scrubs. You guys just round banks, okay, take this room.
Right.
Yeah, no, that
Yep. And
that
Girder, you're on
door duty.
janitor duty.
Yeah, you're forever the bouncer.
Forever the bouncer.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, how wild would
Always
that
head
be?
up.
A legion of supervillains unlimited.
Oh my God. I mean, I mean, we'll never have that because, woo. But that would be so fucking cool.
Right?
That really would.
But yeah, like that's the only thing. Like it's either that, like there's different sections of Inferno with different people, or this is Sinestro. But
Yeah.
just based off the dialogue that we've seen, it doesn't sound like Sinestro. That's the thing. Because we've seen these two talking over the past four issues, and I can't really get a vibe on who they could be based on the dialogue. But it certainly doesn't sound like Sinestro. But the other energy definitely looks like Sinestro. So it's really hard to tell. You know, it's
It is.
brought this
There's
whole Inferno mystery kind of back to the forefront for me of a level of excitement. Um, at least until we find out who these two people are, like specifically these two people. So we'll have to see. Either way, the story is quite interesting. It was really cool to see Captain Atom versus Major Force. I
yeah.
have not read everything that's ever happened with Captain Atom, so I couldn't tell you if these two have fought before. I know they've
Oh, they
interacted
fought.
before. I
No, they
imagine they
fought
fought
before
many
several
times.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have.
But it is a heck of a matchup, I gotta say. For two people that have basically the exact same power set, hell yeah.
Yeah, Captain Adam has always been able to not walk over Major Force, but able to beat him. But
Yeah,
it always takes him having to lose a little control.
fair enough.
So that's usually where the problem comes in with Captain Adam. But now he happens to have a whole lot of it.
Yeah. For as somebody that's not brushed up
Control of
on
a whole lot more.
military hierarchy, what ranks higher, a major or a captain?
Uh, Major, I believe.
Major. Oh, okay. I was gonna say it'd be great for like Captain Ad to be like, respect your superiors, Major Force, or like that would never
Something
work.
like that.
Yeah.
This is a subordination soldier.
You're looking at a court martial, sir. Yeah. No, it's a heck of a fight, heck of a slobber knocker. Um,
Worth noting that Eiling said that if it didn't work, if they weren't able to capture Captain Adam, that it would result in them getting a court martial.
yes.
So I happen to think that Captain Eiling is actually doing this without the permission of the United States Air Force.
That is a very safe assumption because it always felt like everything General Eiling did was without the permission of the United States Air Force.
Ain't that
Yeah.
the
um, it just sucks that he brought all those other soldiers down with him because he's a dick. But yeah, what can he do? Yeah, so it's simple story. This issue, very simple story. It's one big fight, and you get a few uh, brief flashbacks of Captain Atom on the Watchtower. Um, yeah, I still love it. I can't wait to see how this ends because it feels like this is a catalyst book for what's going on with the Watchtower and the superpowers and everything. Very, very big book. So this is getting an 8.75 for me.
I hope that this ends in a way that Captain Adam isn't so damn powerful that he's able to be around way more often than he is now. Because he's a cool character. I love him.
Yeah.
I think this book keeps getting deeper, like as far as multiple layers, and it's way better. I enjoy every single issue. Again, I love Captain Adam, and it's good to see such a story wrapped around him instead of the other one we just had that was not good. And add to that to add that to Mike Perkins and Adriana Lucas, and you get a smashing good time. It's fantastic what they're doing with Captain Atom, just like with Poison Ivy, could change Captain Atom and hopefully make him a much more usable character. I'm gonna give this one an 8.5 out of 10. Every book this week so far has been amazing.
So far. But that's not a knock on our next book, because our next book, I think, is still amazing. And that is Birds of Prey number 21?
It is.
20. I
Look
was right.
at that. Written by Kelly Thompson, art by Sam Basri, with inks from Vicente Cifuentes on pages 6 through 7 and 10 through 20, and colors by Adriano Lucas again. Busy colorist there. Letters from Clayton Cowles and a cool cover from Annie Wu, whose name I'm not familiar with, but that doesn't mean I don't know her. um, but regardless, here we go. Cass is investigating the faked suicide in Gotham. Batman shows up and lets the birds have the case. They find out that they've been overloaded with clues as misdirection. Babs eliminates most of them, and the team gets split up to tackle different leads. Cass and Sin share a good moment of friendship. Cass offering that they are similar, both raised to be weapons, but different on the inside. Soon after Cass and Sin are under attack, Canary's in the middle of chaos, and Barda's mission ended up with her being blasted into space out of the top of that. It's not all though. Barda looks down and sees a bomb with 1 second left to go off. As Babs calls a code black, Barda's space shuttle explodes. We see in a panel a shot of someone staring at pictures of the birds when they did that lingerie fashion show, way early on in the series, and there's an X over Barda, and the off-panel person saying, "One down, 4 to go." Everything's gone haywire, and I can never get enough of this book. Um, it's 1 week you get Poison Ivy and Birds of Prey, and it's always a good mood for me that week.
Yeah.
Uh, it's another title that's just consistently great every issue. It always moves the story along. There's always great character moments. That is fantastic. Well, I mean, except Barda blowing up, that might not be great. Hopefully, she boom tubed out in that 1 second, and the mentorship that may be happening between Cass and Sin makes a lot of sense, and I think it would work better for the Sin character than Black Canary doing it, actually. So, because Cass is familiar with having to keep a beast in check.
Yeah.
8.5 out of 10.
I will start off with my score because I have a lot to talk about with this issue. It's getting a 9 right off the bat, and by the end of my review, it might get a 9.25.
All right.
Really cool to see Cass and Sin in connection with each other on a mission together, because like I never really thought about how alike those two are, character wise. Like it was really cool to see the the I almost want to say rivalry ship, I guess you want to call it, between Barda and Dinah. When Barda's dropping Dinah off, perfect. I love it. Barda being Barda, she's right. The bikini armor would have worked perfectly in UAE, but Barbara said no.
Alas, that was not the plan.
Yeah. One little nitpick is that on panels with Barbara at the end, we saw Barda actually in combat and being sent off in a rocket ship, and this is when Oracle decided to get on comms to everybody else, and Dinah said she was in the middle of combat, as well as Cass and Sin were in the middle of combat. However, the last time we saw either of them, they were just fine. And I would have been.
I think that that was just um, their way of like we were supposed to interpret that as, and they really should have done something to denote this, but
Yeah.
I feel like that was like their way of saying like all of this went down at the same fucking time when
Yeah,
it just
that's
blasted
honestly
off,
how I took
everything
it.
erupted into chaos everywhere.
Yeah, like I did definitely take it that way and I read it that way, but I still would have preferred to have seen like some kind of catalyst for both of the other missions to
Yeah.
see like how did it get here, because they had Dinah and the mission with Cass, and well, at least the mission with Cass and Sin was a big fucking secret to begin with, and then Dinah was just like at a convention, so that's just begging the question like how last time we saw
Well,
Cass and Sin, they were just following a guy into the sewer. Now they're stuck in like a big combat situation. Dinah was at a like a press event showing off a camo suit, and now she's in a giant
yeah,
battle.
well, more like
How?
an
Like it's
invisibility suit. I mean, I can imagine how that might get rated by a large group of supervillains.
I yeah, but that's I'd love to see that, because that question's
I
going
have
to
a
be nagging
feeling
on my
we're
mind for
going
the next month.
to.
Is how the
Yep.
fuck did it get to that point? Like I understand that yeah, it all happened at the same time, and that's cool. Like I completely understand that'll happen, but I really want to know why and how. You know,
Okay.
I
The
saw
first
everything that
page
happened
of
with
next
Barda. I
month
would
is
love
gonna
to see
say
the other two missions,
the
right? This is
first
supposed to
page
be
of
a
next month is gonna say 5 minutes earlier.
yeah. I think this is a five-part adventure, I think it said. So I could see it being like this issue was Barda focused, next issue is going to be Dinah focused, issue after that, Cass and Sin, and then issue part four, whatever, is going to be like, here's what happened to Barda, and everything comes together, or something like that. If it happens like that, cool. But it's that's my only nitpick. It's not even that big of a nitpick. That's my only nitpick. The other thing I want to mention, and I might have missed it in your review. I don't know if you actually noticed it or recognized it, but this is the current continuity debut of Ink from Batman Beyond.
Where? What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's who that was.
That was Ink.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I saw the black goo. I'm like, this is either Venom, Ink, or somebody new. And then, like, the next page, it was Ink flying out of the building. Oh my god, it's fucking Ink.
Obviously, it wasn't Venom.
That was the first thing that popped in my head. I've been looking because ever since they said there's going to be more creative crossovers with Marvel and DC this year, and like I've been watching every single book we read, and if I see something that looks relatively Marvel, I'm like this is where it starts.
Mhm.
Right? That's Venom. This is where the crossover starts. But okay, no, it was Ink, which is still really cool. Um, yeah, it's the current continuity past debut of Ink, who we all know to exist on Earth 22 in Batman Beyond, or in the future, 30 years from now. It's
Yeah.
just really cool to
Looks
see.
just like Batman Beyond, but has a purple symbol.
What, Ink?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like there was that one episode.
That's the only one
um,
I can remember right
yeah.
now.
But yeah, no, it's really cool to see that. I was excited for that. I was hoping to see a bit more of Ink, but you can only get so much story in 22 pages, I guess, because they have a lot of characters and ground to cover.
They ain't
Um,
gonna just pop her in and have such a fan service moment going on
yeah,
without having them come back.
yeah. Especially since, and I'm pretty sure, I'd have to go back and double check, but I'm pretty sure she stole Barda's cosmic rod.
Oh shit!
Because when
I
we
didn't
last
notice
saw her
that.
in like the little goo form, she was sliding towards it, and then next thing we saw, she was flying out the window. So I want to say she
Okay.
stole Barda's cosmic rod. So I
Yeah,
think we
I think
definitely have to
so.
see Ink again. Cause, and also, why else was she there? What was this whole thing for? It was an empty ghost town with cardboard buildings, except for this one giant fucking tower, and Ink is there at the top of it in a grate, an air vent, and it's a rocket ship. Like, there's a
Yep.
lot of fucking questions came out of this issue.
All
um,
big, massive traps for the birds of prey.
Yeah, so this is I'll keep it as a 9 for now, but it was really cool to see the debut of Ink. That was
It
really
really
fucking
was,
cool.
dude. It really
Yeah,
was. And no, I did not notice. I was just like, okay, new character.
yeah. In fact, I'm gonna ask Brandon right now if he realized who that is.
That's sick.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I suppose I'll wait for you. But we
So, okay.
are
Yeah,
about to
we are
cover.
on to our last book in record time. It's not even been an hour yet.
Wow.
Jesus. Yeah, this is JSA number 6,
Hey,
written by.
it's you and Brandon. It's your guys' fault.
That's, yeah, we just go off on fucking tangents all the time. I have no news this week,
Yep,
which
and
feels
that's
weird because I'm
part of it.
pretty sure there should be, but I just don't have any. I've been too busy
Cool.
watching Kenshin to pay attention.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Right, so this is Ragnarok Part 6, written by Jeff Lemire with art from Diego Orlategui with Joey Vasquez, colors from Luis Guerrero, and letters from Steve Wands with the cover you see right before you from Cully Hamner. And we open up on, if I can go back to the front page, a little flashback in Grant's gym from 2 months prior where Grant is trying to teach Khalid how to box, and Khalid just says, "Look, I got the helmet. I don't need to box." Ted, ever being Ted, and the box teacher says, "Look, one day you're not going to have that thing, and one day you're going to know how to fight. But if you don't want to learn, I'm not going to teach you. But don't come crying to me when you need to fight and I'm not there." Yada yada, right? He's got a
Right.
point, but there's a point to that as well. We then jump back to the Tower of Fate in the present day, where Green Lantern and Flash are doing their best to hold the hordes of hell at bay. Outside the Tower of Fate, it is a tough fight because they are getting overwhelmed. Meanwhile, inside, Grant is trying to talk Khalid back into using the helmets because it's getting too much for him to hold everything off. And Grant gives him the best pep talk you could ever give somebody that is deal with a magic helmet that can possess your very soul. Is "You're special, you got this," right? And it works,
Right.
right? He does it. He gives another shot, and well, it works. He is
You
able
can
to
do
save the
it.
Tower of Fate a little bit more and keep the demons even further back. So that's when Jay heads back into the Tower of Fate to try and find that exit as fast as he can. But in that moment, four portals open up behind Grant, and out comes Ruby Sokov, uh, the fucking Cobra, um, Doctor Chaos. I don't remember all their names.
Ah,
There's a
I don't
lot
have
of
it open
freaking
right now.
people in the Injustice Society, but basically the guy that was from the Jeremy Adams, Jay Garrick, the Flash book, and Cobra Queen. I don't remember her name, and the guy from the Sandman book. I don't remember his name. Brandon, I know you're listening to this and you're screaming at me right now. This is why we need you.
He's probably yelling at me, going, "What are you doing?" But
Yeah, you're not the one covering the book right now. But yeah, it's the three of the characters from the three miniseries and the person from Cobra. You find it weird that there's across media there are three different snake themed teams and they're all named Cobra. Like there's this one in
what else is
DC, there's Cobra in Marvel, and Cobra in GI Joe.
It's very true.
What the fuck?
Somewhere, where is it? Somewhere there's a Viper. That's
Unless this
also an
is
acronym.
wasn't
I
that
can't
in
remember.
like Mask?
Mask? Yes.
Yeah,
Yep. Bam. How the
yeah.
fuck did I forget Mask? Yes, it's
You
Viper.
love
Yes.
Mask, not the Mask, just Mask, the acronym, not
Just
the
Mask.
Jim
Yes.
Carrey movie.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Uh,
cartoon is smoking.
okay. Yes, which we also know was a comic book prior, but very different comic book from the movie.
Very different comic book from the
Very,
movie.
yeah. If you watched the movie and you thought maybe I should check out the comic book, hold on to your seat Because
Good
it's,
lord.
oh, yeah, it's fucking crazy. Stanley Ipkiss is in like one issue. Okay, but yeah, these four members of the Injustice Society show up through these portals, and Grant is the only one left to fight them because Khaled is still holding the demons at bay, Flash is busy, and Alan is still outside. So Grant says, "You know what? I got this. Let me handle these scumbags. I got my two fists. That's all I need, motherfucker." But then we jump into Keystone City,
I'm
where
gonna
the younger
fuck
section
you
of the
up.
Justice Society is fighting members of Cobra. But this box is titled The Death of the Justice Society. And, well, if that ain't foreshadowing, I don't know what is. Yolanda's getting a little bit too pissed off with these goons because she wants to know where Dr. Midnight is. Starts to get a little too overzealous with one of the goons. Jade comes in, yells at her to stop. Our Man and Sandy are with her, and now the two teams are going a little bit at each other's throats. Before Sandy opens up a door in a room with a chair and finds a lot of, I want to assume, blood as well as Dr. Midnight's gear. Yolanda gets really pissed off at this point, goes up to the goon, asks what the hell happened, what did you do, calls him a liar, and slashes his throat. This is when the Justice Society head back to the brownstone. Meanwhile, Wildcats is doing his best to fight off these four, and he's doing what I would say is a pretty damn good job for it being 1v4, but he does get an upper hand placed on him by the Sandman villain, Doc, Dr. Sleep? I don't fucking know. Khaled notices that he gets gassed. And this is when Ruby Sokov knocks Alan out of the sky, and the tower gets slashed in half by a giant fire demon because Alan is not there to hold him off. So the Tower of Fate has been destroyed, and out of the rubble, Wildcat is still standing, but then he gets stabbed through the back, right through his chest, by the Cobra Queen person. I wish I could remember her fucking name because I know I'm getting it wrong. But yeah, when she says, "You're finally out of lives, Wildcat." We don't know how true that is, how many of his 9 lives he's ever used up. But he does seem to actually be dead. Uh,
I like to think
Wotan,
it was Copperhead.
yeah, it's not definitely not Copperhead. Unless it is Copperhead. It does have a copperhead. I don't know. This one, Wotan appears, takes the helm of Naboo straight off Kelly's head, and the Injustice Society disappear. Jay arrives a little too late, finds Ted. Alan shows up, and now they all get teleported back to the Brownstone as Wotan finally has what he wants. Um, and our final little section titled Homecoming, the Young Justice Society. I keep calling them the young members of the Justice Society, Jade, Obsidian, etc., are back at the Brownstone, and shit's just
Tearing into
going
each other.
crazy. Yeah, Jesse and Our Man are having words back and forth. Jade is pissed that Yolanda killed somebody. Her and Todd go back and forth about shit, and then Alan steps in with Khalid and Jay, says none of it matters now. Wildcat is dead. That's how the issue ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh fuck. All right. So
Fucking
yeah.
hey, dude.
Ragnarok for sure. Holy shit. Like this is just crazy. This is not what I ever expected out of a Justice Society book. I see JSA number one. I'm
Jasmine,
thinking this is going to
baby.
be a feel good story. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be like the old guard teaching the new guard. And it's going to be teaching an even newer guard. And it's going to be fun adventures. And there's going to be like camaraderie and friendship and family. And that's what the JSA is all about. What the fuck happened? Jeff
Jeff
Lemire,
Lemire.
man. Why? No, but
I
it's
promise you at the end of it,
good.
it will be better.
But is Wildcat going to be alive? Who knows?
The only one. I mean, Jesus, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, like
I-
that looks pretty freaking dead. Not gonna lie. Yeah, it's been a hell of a story so far. See, as much as I love Jeff Johns writing JSA, this is what you get when Jeff Johns is not writing JSA after 20 fucking years. Something different. Because I don't think
Yep.
Jeff Johns would have ever done this. End of the day, like he's the only guy that wrote JSA from like 1999 to 2003 or 2023. I mean to say,
Yeah.
um, and this is just holy shit.
Right.
um, so yeah, this is crazy, and I don't even know what to say about it. It's just
Jesus.
it's decimation. Like that's what happened in this issue. Just pure freaking decimation. You thought
Everybody hates each
Avengers
other.
Disassembled was bad?
Right.
Bendis is weeping because he couldn't write something this good. Like
Oh my God.
shit.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it's just there's not much else to say. There's a lot of death. We
I
do
mean,
know, as far as I remember, Dr. Midnight's not dead because I'm pretty sure she's with the real Obsidian
hmm
right now. We just
right.
don't know where they are. So there's that to look forward to. That Obsidian and Dr. Midnight are still alive. But they've yet to discover that this fake Obsidian of the Brownstone is actually Johnny Sorrow. Uh, so yeah, we'll have to see what happens next. I think this is the end of the arc, and then part issue 7 is like the beginning of a new arc. I could be wrong,
No, I think you're right.
which is crazy that this is how they end the arc. But yeah, art's fantastic. Story's quite interesting. It's if you're a JSA fan, it's going to break your heart, but it's got to happen for now. Um, dear God, wait, where are the Hawks? They're still in hell.
Yep.
Holy shit. Why didn't
Exactly.
they get teleported out? Yeah. God, we'll have to see what happens next. So yeah, this again. Um, Not that it's a bad book, but it is going to get my lowest score for the week, which is an 8.5.
All right. And you said it. It's it. Holy hell.
Yeah.
Everybody hates each other. The helm of the fate. The helm of fate belongs to the supervillains. One Wildcat's a murderer. One Wildcat's dead. Everything has gone insane, and nobody knows that Johnny Sorrow is there. Holy sad. It's gripping. It's investing, but so sad. Like, what happens now? I mean, as sad as it is to say, I hope that Ted's death brings the JSA back together. Um, I gave this an 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. You got a problem with it?
No. No, I do not. Right. Well, that is our reviews. So now I guess we'll get into our top 3 and favorite moment and favorite cover. Yeah. I'll start off with number 3. See, I'm tied between Secret Six and Atom Project. I think I'm going to give it to Secret Six right now, just because I'm really excited about the direction of that book at the time being. It's got a lot of promise for the future, where Atom Project is starting to wind down. So, like, the intrigue of future stories is a bit more promising. So, Secret Six is going to be at number 3, Birds of Prey at number 2, Poison Ivy at number 1. Favorite moments? It's got to be Birds of Prey, Dinah just sass talking Barda when they boom tube to the top of the floor or top of the building. Um, Favorite cover? Do you mind going through the covers really quick?
Not at all. I typically do.
All right, that's a
There's
really good
Secret
one.
Six, Poison
That's beautiful.
Ivy, Adam
That's
Project,
dynamic.
Birds of Prey,
That's really cool.
JSA.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to give it to all of them. No, I think I'll give it to Poison Ivy for now. They are all really good covers, but Poison Ivy, that's just fuck so good.
And Jessica Fong, man, I'm
Yeah,
telling you, she's every what 32, 32 solid ass covers. Actually, no correction. Um, for some reason, I remember her doing two covers once. She did, inside of one book.
Yeah, it would have been the last issue, I think, or the issue before was the flip book issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 33 badass covers.
I think she also did an annual
Oh,
and the
and
Swamp
that.
Thing special.
Did she do this one thing
I
special?
can't remember. I'm just assuming any Poison Ivy book she's doing the cover. It's just my assumption.
Fair enough. So, I, I thought by the time I got here I would have this figured out. Number three is JSA or Birds of Prey. And because it was a little more emotionally investing, and I think that Barda boom tube out of there, I'm going to give third place to JSA. Second went to Poison Ivy, and first went to Secret Six.
Right on.
Um, honestly, my favorite moment, this is going to sound messed up, but just because of how shocked I was when it happened, and solely because of that, it made me go, whoa, was when Yolanda murdered that
Mm,
dude. And I mean, getting caught off guard, enjoying a story is one thing, not seeing something coming, but being shocked by something that happens in a comic book, that doesn't happen to me very often, and that was something. As far as my favorite cover goes, I was sitting here thinking, man, this is a tough one. The covers that we covered, they're all awesome. Um, Definitely has to be either Secret Six or Poison Ivy, and just because of how dynamic it is, I think I have to go with Secret Six on this one.
right on. It is a really cool cover.
Indeed, it is.
And kind of shows
Now,
off the internal struggles you see inside the book, with the exception of Wild, or I was gonna say, Catman and Dreamer. They didn't really fight, but they were the only two left. So
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. So it's amazing that I chose either one of those, considering how much I hate lettering on a book. But there was one other comic that came out this week from DC that we didn't cover, and we won't until the end of the month.
yep. Well,
But
there's two other books that came out that we won't cover.
this cover,
That's really cool.
oh my god,
Yeah,
that is outstanding. And it's not often that a cover alone makes me want to read a comic.
Janoy
That
Lindsay
was
is fantastic.
beyond fantastic.
And from what
This
I
is
understand, I believe Janoy Lindsay
amazing.
is doing all the covers for the foreseeable future that we know of, and they're all freaking cool.
Hell yes. So heavy. That just looks great.
Plus, this is going to be the same art as the interior.
Yeah, and I'm a sucker for color on monochrome,
Yeah,
so I'm stoked. um, for like color on monochrome, not quite black, white, and red stuff, but a lot of that stuff does look good.
yeah.
But anyway, I guess that is the show. Thanks everyone for watching. We will be back next week covering all of DC's weekly releases. Same geek time, same geek channel. We're getting out of here, so you'll have to as well. Be careful out there, and remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix, you are not alone.
Peace.
All right,
That is
well,
our shortest show yet.
very